Hi everybody, how you doing? Are you doing alright? Good, good. Freddy and I are in the garden again. Thought you might like to do some work on frogs outside. It's just a little bit nicer, isn't it? And Freddy loves being outside. Can you remember? I told you what kind of animal Freddy is. Beginning with A. He's an amphibian. So that means that he can spend a little bit of time out of the water, as long as he goes back in later to make his skin all nice and wet and moist again. Now, Freddy and I were just looking at the pictures, weren't we, Freddy? We were trying to work out which one comes first and then which one's next and which one's next until we get to the end of the cycle, and it's a while since we've done it. So I think we're going to need your help to remind us which one comes first. Okay, now then, if we say that the first picture is going to go here, do you think it really is the frog? No, it's not, is it? I'm going to take that one off. You can hear that dog, can't you, in the background? I don't think he's going to come and play. Now, Freddy, I think we'll get you to move around the board. And perhaps I'm going to have to listen really carefully, because if you can say stop when you think Freddy needs to stop at the right picture, then that's really going to help me. Right, Freddy, off you go. We'll let you pretend to swim. Here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Is he stopping at this one? What about this one? Is this the first picture? Is it this one? Oh, I think someone's shouting at me. It is. Yes, I can hear you shouting. Stop, Mrs Bowen, because the first picture that we need, you sit there a minute, Freddy, is the frog spawn, don't we? Right. Let's pop the frog spawn up there. In fact, I'm just going to put the blue tack 2 blobs on the back so that it sticks on better, because when you're outside it's okay, but if you get a little bit of wind, blows your pictures about, doesn't it? There we go, there's the frog spawn, nice and ready. Right, Freddy, are we ready for the next swim around? Are you ready? Let's get those legs going. Oh, there we go, there we go. Now children, where should I be stopping next? Picture number 2, which is actually going to go here. Is that the right picture? You going to tell me when to stop? I'm waiting to hear you. I'm listening, I'm listening. Oh, I think I can hear some voices. Is it this one? Yes, it is. It's this one. So we're going to stick that one on number 2. Let's get that blue tack underneath as well. Just stop it waving in the wind. Freddy, are you ready for the next picture? Let's start at number 1 again. Frog spawn. Tadpole. But what comes just here, Freddy? What could it be? Is it that little froglet there? You think it is? Hang on, do the children agree? It's not, is it? It's not. Yes, it's that one. Can you hear them shouting, Freddy? They're shouting. Right. There we go. There's the tadpole getting bigger. And now we can see where the next pictures go. I think we can work that one out now, can't we? Which one would be next? Yes, it's that one. It's quite easy. We put that there and that there, and that's our frog life cycle. Frog spawn, tadpole, bigger tadpole with legs, froglet, and a full grown frog, just like Freddy. Well done, Freddy, you're very helpful today. Let's put you there on that rock for a rest. Now then, children, it's this tadpole that I want you to pay a bit of attention to today, because I've been back to the pond, I've had a good look inside, And they still haven't really changed a lot. But the bodies are looking a little bit more like that picture. So it's not round and it's not very small. It is looking a little bit more like a froggy face, a bit more like a froggy head. And that's what they're starting to look like in the pond. So this is what I want us to really concentrate on today for our diary. We're going to try today to draw the tadpole, but we're going to do what's called a bird's eye view. Now, if you were to look in the sky, in fact, I wonder if I could tip the camera so you could see in the sky. I can hear the birds, but I can't see them very well actually. But when a bird flies in the sky, it looks down on the world. It sees everything underneath, and it gives it what's called a different perspective. Things look very different from above than they do underneath. They look very different from above than they do from the side. The way that Freddy looks at things is very different to a way that a bird looks at things. But we're going to try today to draw our tadpole from above the pond, and you will see on my video later that I've taken some of the tadpoles out of the water and I've put them in a little dish so that we can get really close and get above them and we can see them a little bit more close up. And then you get to see the shape, and then you can do a close-up drawing just like me. So I'm going to put my piece of paper on here and show you just what I mean. All right. Get some blue tack and stick it on. There we go. I'm going to need another one, aren't I, because that wind is blowing. Still blowing that wind. Right. Oh, it is nice to be able to hear all the birds in the background tweeting. So let's just put that little picture at the side just to remind us of the shape of the tadpole. But this is taken from the side, and we're going to look at the tadpoles from above, remember. So I remember when I looked at them that the shape of them is a little bit more like that. It sort of goes in and out, and then there's like a long tail, and those tails are still very long, children. I'm sorry, they're not short yet, which means the legs aren't coming just yet. They've still got the very long tails, and they've got the pattern kind of down the middle of the tail. But I did notice that they've got little eyes at the sides, and I did notice that they were not black, they were quite green. So I'm going to colour them in a little bit. I'm going to do it quite quickly today. You could spend a little bit longer on yours if you want to, make it look really beautiful. I know I've got some children in my class that are very, very good at drawing, especially Serenity. She's very good at things like that, and Jasmine, some really super drawers. Now there's also some brown spots on, and some brown in there. I've loved seeing some of your frog diaries. Vida, your frog diary is beautiful, and Jasmine's frog diary is lovely. I've really enjoyed seeing some of the hard work that some of you have been doing, and I'm glad that you're finding the things that we're doing with you nice and interesting and good fun. So make that tail nice and long, put those dark colours in if they need to be, put some dots in, because I noticed spots and dots on those tadpoles. There we go. And there's my tadpole from above, and you'll understand about that more later when you see the little video clip. Now, if that's going to go in my diary, and if it's going to go in my special frog book diary and be after page 3, which was this one, wasn't it? That's my page 3. So my next page is going to be page 4. Yeah? Remember, that was my thinking bubble with all of my words on. And I loved the ones that I saw from some of you. They were fantastic. The next page is going to be this one. So it's going to be number 4. So I'm going to put a number 4 in the corner. I might actually put it in the top corner this time. And then I'm going to write a little sentence to go with it. And this is where I might need a bit of help from you, because you're going to have to think about your tricky words and think about your phonic sounds, okay? And then you can also put a sentence if you want to in your diary. We'll do it together today. It's what's called guided writing, okay? So I'm going to write the tadpoles are still growing. Now I know that is a very long sentence and you might need a bit of help from your grown-up. I'll be very surprised if you don't. I think you will. We can try together, can't we? We do it now. I'm giving you some help now. We're going to do it together. So the tadpoles are still growing. Do you think that's okay? Shall we give it a go? We'll give it a go. So we need to think first how many words we've got. The tadpoles are still growing. How many words is that in that sentence? It's 5, isn't it? 5 words. And the first word is the. So that's a tricky word. Now, do some of you know that word? You do, don't you? So I have to think, that's not a word I can sound out. It's just a word I need to know. So I know that it's this one. It's a T. I'm going to write it like that because it's a capital T, because it's at the beginning of the sentence. So finger spaces in between now. Need to try and remember that. The tadpoles. Tadpoles. T. Add. Poles. Now you might just know this now because you've seen the word a few times. Tadpoles. There we go. That is a word that we get used to. The tadpoles are. I wonder if we know how to write that word. It is another tricky word and some of you might know it, but you could have a go at sounding that one out. R. What sounds can you hear? R. What can you hear? Well, I can write this one down because I know how to say it, but I'm hoping you would think it was an A and a R, but there is an E at the end of it as well. The tadpoles are still. Still. What can you hear in that word? Still. Yeah. Now this is a digraph. This is the two sounds together. St, st, st. isn't it? Still. Ill. Now some of you might notice, still. It's a long sound at the end, so it's two l's. The tadpoles are still. Now we would try and fit that word there, but it's quite a big word, so I'm going to try and put it, I think, underneath. Let's just see if I can move this up so we can see it even better. Okay, all those birds are tweeting. It's lovely. The tadpoles are still. Grrr, grrr. What can you hear there? Grrr, grrr. That's right, it's a g. Grrr, grrr. Oh, sorry. Grrr, grrr. Oh. Sometimes there's a letter sound that we know that makes an O sound, but sometimes it makes an O sound. So we're going to put O in there. The tadpoles are still grow. What sound can you see? Ooh, it's a W. W. Growing. Now, does any clever clogs out there know what the ing trigraph is? That means it's three sounds together. Ing, ing. It's an I and a n and a g. Oh, and that's making that because I've got my blue tack at the back. Right, the tadpoles are still growing. And at the end of our sentence, we're going to put, I think if we were doing talk for writing, isn't it like this? We're going to put a full stop. A full stop at the end. The tadpoles are still growing. And you could do that for your diary. You could draw a picture of the tadpole with its long tail, and you could write that sentence in there. And I'm really hoping that next time we do frogs again, which won't be in the half-term holiday, so that's next week. I'm not going to do frogs next week at all. We're going to give the frogs, well, the tadpoles, another week to get bigger and eat more algae and eat more little creatures. And hopefully, by the time I go back and do some more filming, they will have started to grow little legs. Yeah? And in fact, if you do a nice big picture of your tadpole just like mine and keep it in your diary, what we could do is next time we could just add to it. We could just draw the legs on to that one, couldn't we? And maybe write another sentence about it. Okay, so that's all I'm going to let you do today, because I think that's quite a lot really, because you're having a go at writing your letter sounds and you're also doing some drawing. And also I need you to have a little look at the other video clip of all the tadpoles swimming in the pond. So I hope you get on all right with it, and I hope your diaries are starting to be as full as mine. Yeah, with your thoughts and your ideas and your words, and then the picture from today. Okie dokie. I'm going to go now then, and I'm going to let you watch the video, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. You're going to say bye, Freddy? Come on, give them a wave. Bye, children. Bye bye.